Hello, this is the TI84 guy, and I'm back. I have hopefully a short video that I wanted to go over. One of the things that I wanted to focus on in this video is I wanted to show you an important calculator hack that you can use on both the ACT and the SAT. Then I'm going to show you a problem that you can solve using a program that I've written and I demoed somewhere before. And then I'm going to do a third question that basically is just test taking. You have to be able to solve a probability question. All right, so let me just jump into this right here. All right, so on the screen here, this is problem 49, and it's coming from a practice ACT exam 64E. That's the number of the practice exam. And what I've done here is I've started this problem. It says in the real numbers, what is the solution of the equation 8 to the 2x plus 1 power equals 4 to the 1 minus x power, right? And then what you see here is I've written it. I've tried to start the solution, how you would solve it. You would get the basis the same, and then you would cross multiply, or you would multiply the exponents, and then you would take the exponents and set them equal and solve it, right? That's what you're taught to do in school. That's what you're taught to do, how to solve this algebraically. Now, I never have my students do this, never. What I prefer that they do is, I'm gonna rewrite this. 8 2x plus 1 equals 4, 1 minus x. I put a line down the middle through the equal sign, basically. This side I'm going to put into my graphing calculator y1. I'm going to put it into my graphing calculator y2, and then I'm going to find the intersection, which is what the equal means. All right. So now I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you that that's a much easier solution to this. So let me share my calculator with you, and let me go to y equals, get rid of everything in here. And then in y1, I'm going to put 8 to the 2x plus 1 power. And then I'm going to do y, or y2, and then in y2, I'm going to put 4 to the 1 minus x power. Now, once you've done that, the question is pretty much done, all right? So now I'm going to use the intersect feature of the calculator. So the way you get there is you would press the second key, and then you would press the trace, and option 5 gives you the intersection. So let me go back, second, trace, and then choose option 5. And then it's gonna say, okay, what's the first curve? So you press enter. What's the second curve? You press enter again. And then it's gonna say make a guess, press enter again. So the answer is gonna be a negative 1.25, which is the same thing as a negative 1/8. Now, if you don't know how to convert this decimal to a fraction, you can also do that by going, let me get out of here, go to the home screen, and we're gonna do alpha y equals, and then we're gonna use, well, x. Whenever you press x, it stores the answer, the x coordinate and the x variable. It also stores the y variable in the y coordinate, but we're only interested in the x, so I'm going to take that and I am going to convert it using alpha y equals option 3, and then it converts it to a negative 1/8. So that's our answer. So now if I go back and I go back to the problem, the answer for this is a negative 1/8. Now, it took me about 4 minutes to solve this. But if I were doing this on the exam, I would say, oh, this is y1, y2, second trace 5, enter 3 times, and I'd be done. And it wouldn't take me more than 10 to 15 seconds, tops, all right? But since I'm trying to demo and show you how to do this, it's taking me a little bit more time. Now, let me go back and kind of go over the keys. Whenever you see an equal sign, whenever you have one variable, you can always use your calculator to solve, to avoid, in my opinion, messy algebra. So even though I'm an algebra teacher, when I'm teaching students for the ACT or SAT, I say, look, try to just put it into your calculator and find the intersection, because that's the easiest way, most reliable way, and sometimes the quickest way. Use your calc. Right. So, and that becomes a much easier question to solve. All right, so now I'm going to do one more question. I was going to do two, but I can see it's taken about 5 minutes. And let me go. I'm going to get rid of this. And now I'm going to move the screen over. And let's see, I got to make it a little smaller. Okay, so this is a number 52 question. And if you know the format of the ACT, as you go deeper into the ACT, the more questions, the higher the number, the more difficult the question. When you get over into the 50s, those are generally the more difficult questions, relatively speaking. So this is a number 52, right? But I'm going to show you how I would use this, use a program that I've written called ALINEAR. So let me demo this. So it says in the figure below, line Q, which is here, in the standard XY coordinate plane has the equation of negative 2x plus y equals 1. And it intersects the line R, which is here, which is distinct from line Q at a point on the x-axis. All right, so it says the angles A and B formed by these lines in the x-axis are congruent. So they're saying these two angles are congruent. Now, it says, what is the slope of this line? Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. And if your math is pretty strong and you use the symmetry, you should know that whatever the slope of this is, whatever the slope of this line is, right? Because we can do like a symmetrical vertical line here that's symmetric, you know that this is going to be, whatever this slope is, let's say that this is 2, that means that the slope for this is going to be a negative 2, right? Because by symmetry, there's a couple things going on here. Now, but if that doesn't make sense to you and you're not comfortable with that, I'm going to show you how you can use a program. Maybe it's a couple more steps, but it's also pretty simple. Now, I'm going to find the point, the point of intersection, and I'm going to use the y-intercept. Once I have 2 points, I can calculate the slope. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back to my calculator. And let's see, I'm going to share that. And I'm going to go program. I'm going to use ALINEAR, which is the first one. Press enter again. And then it says, what do we have? Okay, we have an equation. So I'm going to choose option 2. And it's in standard form. It's not in y-intercept form. It's in standard form. So I choose 2 again. And I know that the coefficient for the x term is a negative 2. A negative 2. I know that the coefficient for the y term is going to be a positive 1. And I also know that the constant c is also 1. So I press enter, and I want the x-intercept. So I'm going to choose option 4. It tells me that the value of the x-intercept is a negative 0.5. So now that I know that, I have 2 points, and I can find the slope for the other line. So I'm going to go 2 points now, and the first point is a negative 0.5. And the y-coordinate is going to be 0, because it's the x-intercept. And now I'm going to use the y-intercept. And that is going to be 0, a negative 1. Press enter. And now I want the slope, so I choose option 1. It tells me that the slope is a negative 2. So now I just go back over here, and I answer it. Bam. It says that the slope is going to be a negative 2, and I'm done. How much time is this? Okay, we're at 9 minutes. I think I'm going to shut it down here. Now, if you'd like to get a copy of this program, ALINEAR, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and please send me your email address, and I'll get this program out to you as quickly as I can. But before I go, I also want you to understand, whether you get this program or not, if you have a TI84 plus or a TI84 CE, you have a valuable tool in your hand, but you got to know how to use it. So one of the things I want you to understand, whenever you have an equal sign and one variable. It doesn't matter what's on the left or the right. If it's an equal sign with one variable, you can always, repeat, always use your calculator to find the intersection. Y1, Y2, find the intersection. You can use this on a lot of problems, especially on some of the problems that are considered more difficult. Now, even if you can solve this algebraically, which I can, I wouldn't do it algebraically. It just invites messy errors or sloppiness. So again, make sure you use your calculator strategically. If you'd like to get the program, subscribe and send me your email. All right, I'm signing off. Be safe.